This series is written chronologically. If you are new to the series, you must start at Season 1, Episode 1. Thank you. The Blood Drawn Chronicles Season 11, Shards of a Broken Heart, was written by Michael Bradley and produced by DigiFox Studios. This season was brought to you, in part, thanks to the generous contributions of our patrons, William Wibbins and Zoe Robinson. Thank you, William and Zoe, for your generous donations. If you'd like to contribute towards our next season, titled Season 12, Winds of a Welcomed Winter, please visit www.patreon.com/TBDC and take advantage of the awesome perks we have available. We would like to take this time to thank Lord Saunders from www.lordsaunders.com for the wonderful audio mastering of this episode that you're about to enjoy. As always, thank you for listening, and now our story continues.
Wasting no time, Oriana begins conversation with me in the same manner as she did before I left my world, saying,
I don't blame you, Myrick. I know the ways of our world. You are man, and therefore you are privy to take whomsoever you wish for your desire. I know my place. It's not your actions which have offended me. What you do is common practice, and I've never held you to a higher standard. Where my offense lies is with the title in which your whore prances around with.
She's not a whore.
And she's not your wife either. Yet, when I saw her dressed this morning, it was the title they were giving her. Why, Myrick? Why would you offend me in such a manner?
I have my reasons.
Yes, and I've seen those reasons packed tight into a pair of leather trousers.
Don't.
I enjoy you, Myrick. You allow women to speak plainly in your company. How am I to keep that comfort in the arms of another?
That's no longer my concern.
You'll speak ill to me when I've done nothing to deserve it?
Oh no. Tell me, Oriana, what is my favorite dish? What is my favorite color? My fondest memory? What do I enjoy doing in the mornings?
What is that to me?
Don't you think these are things a wife should know about her husband?
Who cares what your favorite dish is? It's trivial. I am yours by contract. These questions you ask, they are meant for peasant play matrimony. I am to be your legal wife. The order has already been signed.
And that's not love, Oriana.
Please, you and I are both too old to believe in such a silly concept. I am to give you children, and you are to keep me in luxury. You knew that going into this. What changed you so now?
I'm not the same Myrick. I've changed. I found love.
Do you hear yourself? You sound like a child. Very well then, Myrick. If you believe you truly found love, then by all means continue betting your tramp until your love runs out. But do refrain from having her referred to as your wife. It only shames you and embarrasses me.
I will do no such thing.
It is the law, Myrick. Only I am your true wife.
According to Maya and your father.
And the rest of the land.
But not according to me. No. To me, what we have is a shamble orchestrated by your father, Orenthal, and Maya. Maya wants access to your family's vast library, and Orenthal wants what's best for you, which, in his logic, is money. I know what you want from me. I always have. You want me to shower you in gold and precious jewels, fine clothes, and expensive perfumes. You want to be envied and exploited.
And you're telling me she does not?
No. now she wants me. Me. And nothing else.
You've become delusional if you think it true.
We're done, Oriana. And I'm not just talking this conversation. You and I are finished. You're not welcome here. I do not wish you in my life.
You don't mean that.
Oh, but I do. I mean it with every fiber of my being. I don't love you. I never have. You are a bitter woman, one who will do whatever it takes to get what you want. You care nothing for me, but will pretend to as long as I fill your pockets. I've only allowed you in my life this long because I was Maya's puppet, but I am no longer. And just as I have cut the strings from him, so too do I cut whatever ties us. Now go. Leave. Go back home to where you belong and find another fool to carry you.
This is not you talking. This is the spellbounding work of that bitch. I will kill her. I will rip her tongue from her throat and...
Without hesitation, my hand grabs a hold of her neck, and I squeeze the life out of her and say, if you touch her, they won't even be able to identify what's left of you. Do we understand each other? Struggling to breathe, she nods yes, yet in my anger, my hand continues to drain her life force. I've never been known for striking a woman, and now I cannot keep myself from killing her. She is wicked, and if I do not end her now, she will poison the air with her lies and her tricks. Thus, I have no choice. I squeeze. Ignoring her pleas, I squeeze and I do not stop. That is, until from her satchel she pulls out the impossible. And I let go. In her hands, she held the cape of the Opal Prince, Menethius' cape. It is undeniable, black on the outside and gold on the inside. How did she attain such a thing? I ask myself as I see that the cape does not fight her, which means it was handed to her, else the cape would not listen to her, and would instead fight to return to its owner. But what does this mean? I step back and allow her to properly compose herself before asking, what is the meaning of this? Explain yourself.
It's the reason why I'm here in the first place.
Make sense of your words, woman. Do not make me repeat myself again.
Your uncle returned from Olamdor.
I take another step back, bewildered by her statement. Noting my confusion, she says,
I know. We all know now. Menethius never ventured to the Outlands. He went through the door to Olamdor, a door you and your father were told to keep secret. Well, the secret is out. Days after your departure to this world, Menethius returned to New Aden. There's more, Myrick. Your uncle, he...
Noting her change in attitude, I approach her and gently take my uncle's cape from her hands. And as I do, as I claim the cape, it accepts me by placing itself firmly upon my shoulders and resting itself upon my back. It is a dear heart for me to believe, but the Cape has accepted me as its new master, which by law means that I am now the Opal Prince. Impossible, I say. Yet here I stand, wearing the cape of the Gilded King. And so out loud I say to her, Does this mean...
Yes, Myrick. By decree, you are now the Opal Prince, the head of House M.
How? How is this possible? Even if something were to happen to Menatheus, Maya would be next in line if no male children were produced by Morgana.
And no male children were produced. Only 2 daughters, twins named Majorva and Minora. It was a partial disappointment to your uncle, as he planned to return to Olamdor as soon as his child was born, and pass the throne to his son. When he discovered that he was having twins, he was overjoyed. But when they both came out as female,
I understand.
No, you don't, Myrick. Your uncle, he's not the same man you once knew. He's changed. He's become something different. Something entirely out of our element. And whatever he has become, it has spread to the eldest, Majorva. I don't...
I note her inner struggle. Thus, I place my hand on her shoulder and urge her to speak her mind plainly. She takes a deep breath and begins to explain herself. And the story she tells is one for the book. A tale of Menatheus arriving from Olamdor one day unannounced, like a thief in the night. He returned, a different figure, undergoing a transformation similar to that of Theophilus. Only instead of crimson in his hair, Menatheus returned to my world with hair as black as the night sky. In the time that I have been here on earth, Menatheus has fathered 2 children. But, according to her, the eldest, Majorva, is not Valpyr. At least, not in the traditional sense. Reaching into her satchel once more, she pulls out what I never expected to be reunited with in this world. The Black Heart. Handing me my sword, once firmly in my hand, she notes my confusion and says,
Menatheus heard of what Maya did to you, and his anger. He has done the same to his brother. Maya is banished from his lands. He is gone. For now.
For now, meaning?
Menatheus has returned to Olamdor, which means the Opal throne sits vacant. Which means
I must now take my place upon the throne to maintain peace.
Remain here and everyone back home will grow restless, which will only strengthen Meyer and his new growing campaign. You have to come back with me now, Myrick. It is your duty to both your house and your realm, Opal Prince.
As soon as she finishes her sentence, I turn away from her and begin walking. She calls for me to return, but I ignore her and simply keep walking. I walk and I walk. The castle no longer in sight. Yet I do not stop and continue to walk, for I have a great many things to ponder.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to like, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Don't feel like waiting until next week for the next episode of the Blood Drawn Chronicles to release? No worries. You can get access to all the episodes of this season now for just a $5 pledge on Patreon.